Hello all, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about Amazon S3 Vector. So Amazon S3 Vector now generally available. So it's a native vector support for the object storage. And using Amazon S3 Vector, we can develop some of our AI application. So today I'm going to show you how you can chat with your data, which is there in Amazon S3 Vector and using with the Lambda, so which is exposed through an API to my front end application. So the application looks like this. So where let's say that I'm just want to know some of the factor about this, like some of the wireless headphones. So which is already I put an embedding into that to my S3 vector. So we'll see it. You can find the code for this in my GitHub repo, which I've given in my description, so you can clone it, can execute it and run it on your own to see it how it works. You can modify it, do it in your way. So before I jump in and start showing you the code, let me talk about some of the facts about the S3 vector and how it is helpful. Okay, so what is the S3 vector? So as all of you know, Amazon S3 is an object storage, but it has come with a native vector support for it. So for that purpose, you don't require any extra vector database for that and separate pipelines in terms of doing it. So you get like the scalability and the performance of it. So currently, like each S3 vector bucket can support up to 10,000 index, and it can go up to 2 billions of vectors per index, so which is a really good massive scale they have provided this time. And as it is coming out of the S3, so you get the inbuilt the durability, elasticity, high availability feature of S3 into that. So comparing the cost, like comparing to the traditional vector database, the cost will be like around 90% lower. So it will be really quite gives a good factor to develop some of the application onto this, your POC, some of the real application into this, and also it doesn't really require like to build any infrastructure for it. No need to provision for it. It comes into that, and pay for the use, the cost, how much you use, you pay accordingly. uh, it also give the integration with the other AWS services, like you can integrate your knowledge base with the rack capability, and also it gives like Amazon SageMaker Unified Studio, also you can integrate into that. But in today's demo, what I'm going to trying to show it to you, that so where we have like a set of JSON data which I embedded using the Amazon Titan embedding and store it back to the S3 vector. And then later, through the website, whatever I shown, it is a static website, very basic website, through which we'll give a user query, and that query will be converted to a embedding again using the Titan embedding model with a Lambda, and then it queries the vector database. Once it got a response, is using the Nova Light, it will show you the response to you. So it's just more of understanding how the vector works. You can take this, can modify this code, and can implement it for your learning purpose. So let's now let's see the two pipeline whatever I discussed, already mentioned here, how it is going to work. So as I said that I got a JSON set of data, so which I'm converting to a vector data using the Titan embedding, and that I'm storing into my S3 vector bucket onto the index. Similar way, when there is a user query is there, so we are getting the creating the vector data using the Titan embedding, and then querying it, and then passing it that response back to Nova Light to give a response back to our website. So the whole flow looks like this. So where we host a static website on our S3, which is a basically React application, and it calls an API gateway, API which sits on the API gateway, which in turn calls the Lambda to get the detail for it. Okay, so let me try to show you the code now for this. Uh, I'll just show my README file and I'll show the code walk through it. But just to understand the file structure, I have already mentioned it. There are some prerequisite if you want to run this code. So you need to have a AWS CLI configured. So we have Python dependency because the scripts are developed on Python, and the Node.js and the NPM for the front end application, the React application. And you should have access to the Nova Lite and the Titan embedding, which is used inside this application. Now, part of that, I created one sample script, which if you deploy it, it automatically create that S3 bucket with some sample products. So I will show you some of the sample products which I've shown in my website at the start. I've given the detail. So you can extend it further and want to add more data into it. Or I given a manual sort of a script as well. Like if you want to do a little more or experiment on your own, you are welcome to do that. So as a step two, it create from the data the S3 vector bucket and the index, then take the data to generate the Titan embedding. And then also it created the Lambda function. I talk about it with the S3 vector, like querying that data from that. And like the API gateway also, it create this script and the API URL. So once it gives you a output as a API URL, you can update in the front end code. So I've given the place where it need to be updated. So once you update it, you can deploy that application also using these two commands, like go to deploying the script, and you will get a static S3 website. So this is, as I say, that is for a learning purpose. If you want to explore it, you can explore it and can change the code, can add more security feature, etc. into it. So to make it more useful for it, or if you want to explore more. As I told, also I've given some manual deployment. So these are the files also I've given. Like if you want to explore these components on its own, want to change it, want to deploy it, if you want to explore a bit more on that. Also, I've given like the cleanup part of it. If you're going through the fast script where I say that you can automatically deploy this code, so you can use it to clean up the resource. But in case if you change any name or something, just make sure that you taken enough care to update the names in the cleanup file as well. Otherwise, this will might incur some cost in your AWS account. Okay. Now from the sample data perspective, I put around 5 data. So which is like talk about some of the products like a Bluetooth headphone, like some fitness watch, some gaming mouse. Let's go to my code exactly, kind of thing. So this is the script, like the deploy backend simple, the Python file I created. So basically you create like an S3 vector, and it use the AWS SDK in terms of creating the resources. So some of the configuration I have given here, like the name which the resource will be created. In case if you want, you can change it, but as I said that, remember that if you're changing any naming here, update it in the cleanup file, so that when you clean up, you want to destroy these resources, you can do it. So some of the sample data I created, like wireless Bluetooth headphones. Some of the description, I say that like these are the some of the JSON file I created. And once I created, then you can create your S3 bucket by using the SDK method. These are the SDK methods. You can like refer to the Boto 3 for getting more information about it. And when we create the index, in this case I'm taking the cosine as a distance metric. So it's depending on the documentation, you can change these values. And then once you create the index, what I'm trying to use it also, I use the Titan embedding to embed the data. And also can embed my, with the embeddings, I can put some metadata. For example, here I'm giving that data as the my embedding details, and also I can create some of the my metadata into that, and which I use a method from SDK again, like put vectors, to put the data back to the like the S3 bucket, so that your knowledge base, like whatever things is being created into this. And then of course I've given some of the roles I've created for the Lambda to access it, the S3 vector roles, etc. I created, so that those roles will be created to the Lambda function I'm going to create it. Here is my, you can go and can refer to the Lambda function whatever I created. In this Lambda function, basically what is trying to do that, as I shown in the website, the study website, where user is giving a query, so that query is taken as an input, and the Titan embedding is creating the related embedding out of it, and then use the again the S3 vector, like query vectors methods, to find like which are the matching products. So you can like change some of the settings here, like the similarity search, for example, I've given 0.5. You can give a little more here and there also, can see it exactly how it is behaving. Okay, now once I get the response, then I'm again getting it back to my Nova Lite in terms of making a response back to my website. And all this lambda, whatever I told you, again I'm giving into my API gateway, so that my API gateway will be called, like API can be invoked from the static application. Now once I run this script, what it does exactly at the end, it creates that the API URL for me. And remember that if you are going in this like in this way, so there is a front end folder is there. And like if you go to this app.js, so I've given here exactly, you need to update the API URL, whatever is coming out of it, you can update it here, and then can execute your the script to create the static website, and can access this application through that. So this is in case if you want to access each individual file also, I've given them, like for example, like how you can create your vector DB, like if you want to create on your own with a different name or something, or some more data you want to give it. I've also given like generate product embedding. So this is in case you got like a CSV file, you want to embedding it, the sample code also I've given. But this you can do it, and if you want to do it, the explore something bit on your own, like if you want to do more things onto that. Make sure that if you are creating in this way, try to like also destroy the resources, otherwise it should not create any cost on your part. So once you create, you will of course will get a like a static website, something whatever I shown you in this way. And let's say that you've seen some of the like detail I've created, like a wireless Bluetooth set. You can see this price I've given, this that is coming it out, some of the factors I've given it out. I'll say that I want a fitness tracker, so it will go and hit it and can show the related information of it. So this is very basic and some like a simple use of it. You can take it, as I said, that you can explore it. If you want, you can integrate with your AWS services. And like as I said, that the cost is really cheaper. It comes with a lot of inbuilt facility, and probably it's really good for building your AI application. I hope this video might have given a bit of an overview of how, what is S3 vector and how you can use it to develop your application. Hope you will explore more. Keep subscribed to my channel to like where I'll release more video. If you have any question or something, let me know in the comment. I will try to answer you. Thank you. Thanks for watching my video.